The message came on a Tuesday. Every screen on Earth showed the same thing at the same time. A tall, gray alien with 4 eyes looked out at humanity. "People of Earth," it said in perfect English, "I am Ambassador Xerlac of the Galactic Concordat. Your planet now belongs to us. You have 30 days to surrender all resources and accept your place as our subjects." In the Oval Office, the President of the United States sat very still. His face was pale. "Can they really do this?" he asked. General Patricia Adams nodded. "Their ships are already past Mars. Our satellites show at least 20 vessels bigger than anything we've ever built." "Then God help us all," the President whispered. But 12 miles beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a base that did not exist on any map, things were different. "Get me Commander West," said a woman in a crisp blue uniform. Admiral Nancy Miller was not afraid. She had been waiting for this day for 15 years. Alan West was fishing when they found him. His small boat floated on a calm lake in Montana. His phone rang, showing a number he had not seen in 5 years. "I'm retired," he said when he answered. "Not anymore," said the voice of his old friend, Captain Eric Howard. "The Concordat is here. The Admiral wants you in Bastion Base by tonight." West looked at the clear blue sky. So it's finally happening. 6 hours later, a helicopter landed at a normal-looking military base. West stepped out wearing his old uniform. It still fit perfectly. Captain Howard met him on the landing pad. "Good to see you, Ellen," Howard said with a tight smile. "Hope you remember how to fly something bigger than that fishing boat." West almost smiled back. "Depends what you've built while I was gone." They entered an elevator that looked ordinary. Howard pressed his hand to a hidden scanner. The elevator began to drop. "Fast." "We're going to Bastion?" West asked. Howard nodded. 12 miles down. Safest place on Earth right now. When the doors opened, West could not believe his eyes. A massive underground cave stretched before him. It was filled with people, equipment, and most importantly, ships. Not the small space vessels the public knew about. These were warships. "Welcome to humanity's real space fleet, Commander," said Admiral Miller, walking toward them. Her stride was confident. "Sorry to end your retirement." West looked up at the nearest ship. It was huge, sleek, and deadly. "Is that what I think it is?" "Yes," she said. "The first Earth Dreadnought ship, EDS Retribution. And she's yours if you want her." "The aliens don't know about any of this?" West asked. Miller smiled. "The Concordat thinks we're helpless. They've been watching our public space program for decades. They have no idea what we've been building down here." "How?" West couldn't stop staring at the ships. There were at least 8 dreadnoughts he could see, and signs of more under construction. 2037, Howard explained. "When that meteor crashed in the Pacific, it wasn't a meteor. An alien scout ship," Miller said. "We recovered their technology and kept it secret. The world's governments came together for once." Project Bastion began the next day. A young officer approached them with a tablet. "Admiral, the Concordat fleet has established orbit. They're deploying smaller ships toward our official space stations." "Right on schedule," Miller said. "They'll destroy our public defenses as a show of force." She turned to West. "That's why we need you back. In 1 week, they'll think they've won. That's when we launch." West looked again at the massive ships. They represented humanity's true strength, hidden and waiting for the perfect moment. "When do I meet my crew?" he asked. Miller smiled. "I knew you'd say yes. Come with me, Commander. Earth is going to need its best pilots." As they walked toward the Retribution, West felt something he hadn't felt in years. Purpose. The galaxy thought Earth was helpless, but they were about to learn how wrong they were. The next morning, Commander West stood at the viewing window of Bastion Base's main control room. Below him, thousands of workers moved around the enormous ships like ants around fallen fruit. The activity never stopped. "Impressive, isn't it?" Admiral Miller appeared beside him. 17 years of secret work, the biggest project in human history, and nobody knows about it. How many ships? West asked. 12 dreadnoughts complete, 8 more nearly finished. Miller handed him a tablet. The Retribution is our flagship, most advanced weapon system ever built by human hands, with some alien help, of course. West scrolled through the specs. His eyes widened. These energy readings can't be right. Miller smiled. They are. We reverse engineered their power systems, then improved them. An officer approached and saluted. Admiral, Commander, your team is ready in briefing room 3. The briefing room was small but packed with screens showing the Concordat ships now circling Earth. 5 people stood when West and Miller entered. Meet your command crew, Miller said. The best we have. A tall woman with short brown hair stepped forward first. Engineer Diane Powell, sir. I've kept the Retribution's engines purring for 3 years. Next was a broad-shouldered man with dark skin and serious eyes. Tactical Officer Keith Jones, former Navy SEAL. I know every weapon on that ship better than I know my own name. A slender man with glasses nodded. Communications Specialist Greg Martinez. I've learned 8 alien languages. 4 of them are spoken by the Concordat. The 4th was a young woman with red hair pulled back tight. Navigation Officer Liz Campbell. I can fly anything with engines, sir. The last was an older man with gray at his temples. Medical Officer Peter Wright. I studied alien biology for a decade. I know how to heal our people and how to hurt theirs if needed. West nodded to each. When do we launch? We don't, Miller said. Not yet. She pointed to the main screen where news footage showed Concordat ships destroying Earth's public space stations. People screamed as explosions tore through the structures. They're showing their power, Miller explained, making us afraid. Those people, West started, are mostly safe, Miller assured him. We evacuated the real personnel weeks ago when our deep space sensors detected the Concordat fleet. Those stations are running on skeleton crews of volunteers and remote systems. Martinez looked sick anyway. Still are people dying up there. Some sacrifices couldn't be avoided, Miller said quietly. They knew the risks. Now what? West asked. Now we wait, Miller replied. The Concordat wants Earth intact. They're here for our resources and maybe slave labor. They'll demand our surrender, then start landing troops. That's when we strike. Powell spoke up. The Retribution is ready, sir. We've been running drills for months. Show me, West said. They walked through massive tunnels to reach the Dreadnought. Up close, it was even more impressive. Nearly a mile long, shaped like a wedge with smooth dark metal that seemed to swallow light. Inside, the bridge was spacious and filled with technology that West had never seen before. His captain's chair sat in the center, surrounded by stations for each officer. Beautiful, West whispered as he ran his hand over the controls. She's yours, Miller said. We launch in 6 days. The moment the Concordat thinks they've won. West took his seat for the first time. It fit him perfectly. Let's run combat simulations, he ordered. I want this crew to move like they've been fighting together for years. As the bridge crew took their positions, West felt something he hadn't felt since his first command. Excitement. The aliens thought they were conquering a helpless world. But Earth had teeth, hidden in the dark, waiting to bite. On the 3rd day after the aliens arrived, the Concordat ambassador HFY stood before the United Nations. His gray skin shimmered under the lights. All 4 of his eyes blinked slowly as he looked at the frightened human leaders. Your orbital defenses have been removed, he said. His voice was smooth but cold. Your military bases are targeted. Surrender now, and your people will live as useful servants. Resist, and we will make examples of your major cities. The UN Secretary-General trembled as she stepped to the microphone. What guarantee do we have that you will spare our people? HFY made a sound like stones grinding together. It might have been a laugh. Guarantee. You have none. The Concordat does not negotiate with primitive species. You will serve or die. Deep beneath the mountains, Commander West and his crew watched the broadcast. The mood in the command center was dark. "They don't even see us as equals," Martin said. His hands were tight fists at his sides. "Good," Jones replied. "They won't expect us to fight back. That's our advantage." Admiral Miller entered the room. "The UN will pretend to surrender tomorrow. That gives us 3 days to finish preparations." "The crews are ready," West said. "But I'm worried about our weapon systems. We've never tested them in real combat." "Neither have they," Powell said. "Not against humans, anyway." On the screens above them, news channels showed Concordat ships landing in fields outside major cities. Alien soldiers marched out. They were tall like the ambassador, but wore black armor that made them look like giant insects. "Look at those weapons," Jones said, leaning closer to the screen. "Energy-based, just like we thought." "What about their ships?" West asked. "Any weak points?" Miller tapped her tablet and brought up detailed scans of the alien vessels. "Their engines are well protected, but our analysis shows thin points in their hull near their weapon systems. Hit them there, and the energy backflow could tear the ship apart." Campbell zoomed in on the scans. "Their navigation systems look exposed too. A good hit could blind them." "We'll need every advantage," West said. "How many of their ships have landed?" "About half," Miller replied. "The rest stay in orbit to maintain control. They don't think they need their full force to handle us." "Pride," West said. "That's good for us." The next day, the world watched as human leaders signed surrender documents. The Concordat began setting up bases. People were ordered to report for job assignments that everyone knew meant slavery. But some didn't report. Millions disappeared from cities, moving along secret routes to underground shelters built for this day. The aliens noticed. Humans are fleeing the processing centers. An alien commander reported to Ambassador Xerlach. They resist the new order. Xerlach's top eyes narrowed. "Make an example. Destroy a small city, something with under 1 million population." The choice fell on a coastal town in Oregon. The Concordat ship moved into position above it. On TVs across the world, the alien ambassador announced, "This is the price of disobedience." A beam of light shot down from the ship. The town vanished in flames. In Bastion Base, West's crew watched in horror. Liz Campbell turned away, her face pale. Martinez swore quietly in Spanish. "That's it," Admiral Miller said, her voice like ice. "We launch tomorrow, not in 2 days. The retribution goes first." "My crew is ready," West said. That night, no one slept well. West lay on his bunk, staring at the ceiling, thinking of the town that no longer existed, of the people who had died because the world's governments had kept secrets. Necessary secrets, perhaps, the cost was high. Before dawn, the crews gathered at their ships. 12 dreadnoughts, Earth's hidden teeth, ready to bite. "Remember your training," West told his crew on the bridge of the Retribution. "They think we're primitives with rockets and bullets. Let's show them what humans can really do." Admiral Miller's voice came through on all ships. "Operation Silent Guardian is now active. Launch sequence begins in 5 minutes. Good hunting." The mountain above them began to open. The mountain split open like a giant mouth. Rocks and soil slid away, revealing the massive launch bay beneath. The Retribution rose slowly at first, then faster, climbing into the dawn sky. 11 more dreadnoughts followed, breaking through the clouds. In the Concordat command ship, alarms blared. An alien officer rushed to Ambassador Xerlach. "Unknown vessels detected, launching from the planet's surface." Xerlach blinked all 4 eyes in confusion. Impossible. Their space capabilities were destroyed. On the bridge of the Retribution, West felt the ship vibrate beneath him. Not the shake of a primitive rocket, but the smooth power of engines far beyond what humans had publicly built. All systems nominal, Powell reported from her station. Engine output at 100%. Weapons hot, Jones added. Concordat communications show confusion, Martinez said with a small smile. They're ordering all ships to defensive positions. West nodded. Follow the plan. Maintain radio silence. Set course for Jupiter orbit. The 12 Earth ships accelerated away from the planet, moving faster than any human vessel was supposed to be able to move. They passed the moon in minutes. In orbit around Earth, the Concordat fleet scrambled to respond. Ships turned to follow the unexpected threat. What are those vessels? Exerlac demanded. They can't be human. His science officer studied the readings. The design appears human, but the technology, impossible. They're using modified Concordat drive systems. Exerlac's skin darkened with rage. Follow them. All ships. On Earth, people watched their screens in confusion. News anchors reported unidentified ships leaving Earth, with Concordat vessels in pursuit. Hope began to spread. The Earth fleet reached Jupiter's orbit and split into 3 groups. West's voice broke the silence, transmitting to all ships. This is Commander West of EDS Retribution. Execute Phase 1. The Dreadnoughts cut engines and powered down non-essential systems. They floated dark against the blackness of space, hidden in Jupiter's shadow. The Concordat ships approached, scanning. They can't detect us, Campbell whispered. Their sensors aren't calibrated for our stealth systems. Wait for it, West said calmly. The alien ships spread out, searching. They moved past the hidden Earth vessels, their backs exposed. Now, West ordered. All 12 dreadnoughts powered up at once. Weapons systems locked onto the surprised alien ships. Fire, West commanded. Energy beams lanced out from the Retribution, striking the nearest Concordat cruiser at its weapon ports. The alien ship's hull cracked, energy systems backfiring. It exploded in a ball of blue flame. Around them, the other Earth ships fired with similar precision. Concordat vessels, caught completely by surprise, tried to turn and fight back. Too late. Second volley, West ordered. Another barrage tore through the alien fleet. Ship after ship broke apart or exploded. They're retreating, Jones reported, his voice tight with excitement. 8 enemy ships destroyed, Campbell announced. 6 more damage. The rest are running. On the Concordat command ship, Exerlac watched in disbelief as his fleet scattered. How is this possible? He hissed. They are a primitive species. His second-in-command spoke carefully. The humans deceived us. They let us destroy their public space forces while hiding their real fleet. Recall all ground troops, Exerlac ordered. We need every ship. Back on the Retribution, the crew cheered as the alien ships fled. We did it, Powell said, her eyes wide with wonder. First round only, West reminded them. They'll be back with their full force. Admiral Miller's voice came through the comm system. Well done, Commander. Phase 1 complete. Return to Earth orbit. Show the people their defenders. The 12 dreadnoughts turned and headed back toward Earth, their hulls gleaming in the sunlight. No longer hiding, but proud and strong. On Earth, people poured into streets as the ships appeared in the sky, visible to everyone. The massive vessels took up positions around the planet. For the first time since the aliens arrived, people cheered. In Bastion Base, Admiral Miller addressed the world's leaders. Now they know. Earth is not helpless. And this is just the beginning. On the bridge of the Retribution, West looked at his crew. Get some rest. The real fight starts tomorrow. News of Earth's victory spread through the galaxy faster than anyone expected. The Concordat had controlled all major communication channels between star systems for centuries. But something changed when Earth fought back. On a distant mining colony, alien workers heard about the battle near Jupiter. They whispered to each other between shifts. Earth had fought back. Earth had won. In the Concordat High Council chamber, 7 alien leaders argued. Their chamber was a vast room carved from a single giant crystal. Their voices echoed. "This is unprecedented," said Counselor Vrak, a tall blue alien with tentacles where a human would have arms. "No species has ever hidden their true capabilities from us." "The humans are dangerous," said Counselor Misa, whose red scales glowed with anger. "We should destroy their planet now." Ambassador Exerlak stood before them, his gray skin pale with fear. "Our initial force has been reduced by 1/3. The humans have technology they should not have." The head counselor, an ancient being named Dawes, leaned forward. "Explain how primitives defeated our ships." They used our own technology against us," Exerlak admitted. "They must have recovered one of our scout ships, the one that went missing in their system decades ago." Silence filled the chamber. "Then they know our weaknesses," Counselor Dawes said finally. "This changes everything." On Earth, Commander West stood in a new control room. Not hidden underground anymore, but in a tower in Washington, D.C. Around him, screens showed the positions of Earth's dreadnoughts and the remaining Concordat ships. "They're pulling back to Mars orbit," Campbell reported. "Regrouping." Admiral Miller entered with several world leaders. The President of the United States looked tired but determined. "The people need to know everything now," he said. "No more secrets." Miller nodded. "It's time. Commander West, you should address the world." West felt his stomach tighten. He was a soldier, not a speaker, but he stepped before the camera anyway. To billions watching on Earth and millions watching secretly across the galaxy, West explained. He told them about the crashed alien ship found in 2037, about the world's governments working together in secret, about the technology they built and improved. "We are not helpless," he finished, "and we are not alone." Communications specialist Martinez approached West after the broadcast. "Sir, something strange is happening. I'm picking up transmissions from other star systems, non-Concordat signals." "What are they saying?" West asked. Martinez looked stunned. "They're cheering for us. The Concordat has enemies, other species they've conquered. They've been watching." Miller joined them, her eyes wide. "Are you saying we might have allies out there?" "I think so," Martinez said. "They're being careful. The signals are encrypted, bounced through multiple relays, but they're definitely trying to contact us." Jones entered the room quickly. "Sensors show Concordat reinforcements arriving. At least 30 more ships." West frowned. "We need to know more about what we're facing." He turned to Miller. "Admiral, I want to take the Retribution on a scouting mission. If we have potential allies out there, we need to find them." Miller considered it. "Risky, but necessary. Take your ship. The rest of the fleet will defend Earth." That night, West briefed his crew. "We leave in 6 hours. Our mission is to gather intelligence and make contact with any species fighting against the Concordat." Powell raised a hand. "What if it's a trap? What if there are no allies?" "Then we come home with whatever information we can get," West answered honestly. As they prepared to depart, Miller pulled West aside. "Alan, if you find allies, remember you speak for all of Earth now. Not just America. Not just the military. All of us." West nodded. "I understand." The Retribution launched at dawn, climbing quickly past Earth's defense perimeter. The other dreadnoughts moved to cover its departure. On the bridge, Campbell plotted a course away from the gathering Concordat fleet. "Where exactly are we going, sir?" she asked. West looked at Martinez. "Where did those friendly signals come from?" "A star system about 4 light days from here," Martinez said. "With our engines, we can be there in 18 hours. Set the course," West ordered, "and keep all sensors at maximum. We're in uncharted territory now." As the Retribution accelerated to speeds humans had only dreamed of before, West felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. They were no longer just defending Earth. They were reaching out to a galaxy that suddenly knew humanity existed, and somewhere out there, Allies waited. If they could just find them before the Concordat found them first. The Retribution dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of an unfamiliar star system. A yellow sun burned at its center, with 7 planets orbiting around it. The third planet looked green and blue, much like Earth. "Scan for signs of technology," West ordered. Martinez adjusted his instruments. "I'm picking up artificial structures on the third planet, also detecting energy signatures on one of the moons. And something else." "What?" West asked. "Ships," Martinez said. "Small ones, hiding in the asteroid belt." Jones studied his tactical display. "Not Concordat design. Different technology." "They're watching us," West said. "Let's introduce ourselves. Martinez, open a channel. All frequencies, simple message, audio, and visual." Martinez nodded and prepared the system. West spoke clearly. "This is Commander Alan West of the Earth Defense Ship Retribution. We come from Earth, a planet recently attacked by the Galactic Concordat. We seek others who oppose their rule." For several minutes, nothing happened. The bridge crew waited in tense silence. Then Martinez's console lit up. "Incoming transmission." On the main screen, an alien appeared. It looked almost human, except for its purple skin and large silver eyes. "Earth vessel," the alien said in slightly accented English. "I am Captain Nera of the Resistance Alliance. Your victory against the Concordat fleet has reached us. We have been fighting the Concordat for generations." West felt a surge of hope. "We seek allies, Captain Nera. The Concordat will return to Earth with more ships." Nera's silver eyes narrowed. "How do we know this isn't a Concordat trick? They have tried to infiltrate us before." "A fair question," West replied. "We can share our technology as proof of good faith, and we invite you to send representatives to Earth." Nera seemed to consider this. "We will meet. Not on my homeworld, but on the neutral moon of our fourth planet. Bring only a small team." The transmission ended. "Could be a trap," Jones warned. "Or the greatest opportunity in human history," West countered. "Campbell, plot a course to the fourth planet's moon. Jones, prepare a shuttle. Powell, Martinez, you're with me." The Retribution moved slowly through the system, keeping its weapons powered down in a show of trust. When they reached the moon, they saw a small base built into the crater of a dead volcano. West and his team took a shovel down to the surface. They wore protective suits but left their helmets open as a gesture of goodwill. Inside the base, they found a surprising sight. Not just the purple-skinned aliens like Nara, but 5 other species as well, all gathered around a large circular table. "The Resistance Alliance," Nara explained, gesturing to the others. 6 species who refuse to bow to Concordat rule." "How long have you been fighting?" West asked. A small bird-like alien spoke up. "My people for 80 years, others for centuries. The Concordat finds a world, demands surrender, takes what they want. Until Earth," said another alien, this one tall with 4 arms. "You are the first to bloody their nose in living memory." West introduced his team and explained how Earth had prepared in secret. "We need each other," West said finally. "Earth has 12 dreadnoughts, more under construction, but the Concordat has hundreds of ships." "What do you propose?" Nara asked. "An alliance. Real cooperation. You have experience fighting them. We have new ways to hurt them." The aliens discussed among themselves in various languages. Finally, Nara turned back to West. "We agree, but we must move quickly. The Concordat will not wait." A plan formed. The Resistance would send ships to Earth. West would return with alien advisors who knew Concordat tactics. Together, they might stand a chance. As they prepared to leave, Nara took West aside. "There is something else you should know," she said quietly. "The Concordat is not what they appear. They are not a natural alliance. They are controlled by something older, something that stays hidden." "What do you mean?" West asked. a species that conquers by making others conquer for them. We call them the Directors. Few have seen them, but they are the true enemy. West felt cold despite the warmth of his suit. How do we fight an enemy we can't see? By doing what you have already begun, Nura said, breaking their puppets, showing the galaxy that resistance is possible. Back on the Retribution, West briefed his crew on their new allies. 3 alien advisors had joined them for the return journey. Set course for Earth, West ordered. Maximum speed. As the ship accelerated into FTL, Powell studied the alien technology the Resistance had shared. This could change everything, she said excitedly. Their shield technology is different from the Concordats. If we combine it with ours, we might have a real chance, West finished. Martinez looked up from his station suddenly. Commander, I'm picking up distress signals. From Earth. West's heart sank. The reinforcements. They've arrived already. Time to get home, Jones said grimly, and test our new alliance. The Retribution pushed its engines beyond safe limits. Behind them, Resistance ships began their own journeys toward Earth. Ahead, their home planet faced the full might of the Concordat. And somewhere in the darkness between stars, the mysterious Directors watched a plan centuries in the making begin to unravel. When the Retribution emerged from FTL travel near Earth, the crew gasped at the sight before them. Over 50 Concordat warships surrounded the planet. Trails of fire marked the atmosphere where smaller ships battled. Earth's Dreadnoughts fought in a tight formation around the planet. 3 were clearly damaged. 1 drifted silent, its engines dark. Status report, West demanded. Earth Defense Fleet still holding, Jones reported, but they're outnumbered 4-1. Open a channel to Admiral Miller, West ordered. Miller's face appeared on screen, tired and streaked with smoke. West, thank God you're back. We can't hold much longer. We found allies, West said. Resistance forces are on their way. We brought technical advisors and new shield technology. Hope flashed across Miller's face. How soon can you join the fight? We're combat ready now, West replied. And I have a plan. The alien advisors joined them on the bridge. The tallest, a 4-armed warrior named Krell, pointed to the Concordat formation. Their command ship will be at the center of the formation, Krell explained, protected on all sides. If we take out their command structure, it could create confusion, West said. Buy time for the Resistance ships to arrive. How do we reach it? Campbell asked. We can't fight through 50 ships. The bird-like alien, Pix, chirped excitedly. The Concordat navigates using a central beacon system. With your permission, I can modify your ship's signature to appear as one of theirs. Powell looked skeptical. That sounds too easy. It won't last long, Pix admitted, but perhaps long enough to get close. West made his decision. Do it. Meanwhile, let's implement the shield modifications. While Powell and Pix worked on both systems, West coordinated with Earth's defense fleet. The plan was simple but dangerous. The Retribution would appear to be a returning Concordat vessel. It would approach the command ship, then attack at close range. Meanwhile, Earth's remaining Dreadnoughts would target specific weak points in the Concordat formation. Ready, Commander, Powell reported an hour later. Shields enhanced. Our signature now reads as a Concordat heavy cruiser. Take us in, Campbell. Slow and steady. Jones, keep weapons hot but powered down. The Retribution moved through the edge of the Concordat fleet. No one challenged them. Other ships moved aside, assuming they were friendly. It's working, Martins whispered. They approached the center of the formation. There, bigger than any ship they had seen before, floated the Concordat command vessel. Nearly 2 miles long, it gleamed with strange lights. 50 seconds until they detect our true signature, Pix warned. Get us within optimal firing range, West ordered. Campbell guided the ship closer, just a little more. They're scanning us, Martinez shouted. Now, Jones, West commanded. The Retribution's weapons powered up instantly. Energy beams struck the command ship at its weakest points, guided by the Resistance advisor's knowledge. The massive alien vessel shuddered. "They're returning fire," Jones called out. The first hits rocked the Retribution, but the enhanced shields held. "All Earth vessels, attack pattern Omega," West transmitted. Earth's Dreadnoughts broke formation and struck at the Concordat fleet from multiple directions. Confusion spread through the alien armada as their central command was hit. "Something's happening," Martine said, studying his screens. "The Concordat ships, some are turning on each other." Krell nodded grimly. "As we suspected, many Concordat ship crews are from conquered worlds. They serve under duress. With command disrupted, a new alarm sounded. "Incoming ships," Campbell announced. For a terrible moment, West thought they faced even more enemies. Then the readings cleared. Resistance signatures, Martins confirmed. 27 vessels, different classes and designs. The Resistance fleet hit the Concordat forces from behind, catching them in a devastating crossfire. Ship after ship either surrendered or tried to flee. On the main view screen, the Concordat command ship broke apart, secondary explosions tearing through its hull. "We did it," Powell breathed. "We actually did it." But the victory was short-lived. Jones pointed to new readings. 5 ships escaping at high speed, different design from the others. "The directors," Krell said quietly. "They abandoned their puppets." West watched the 5 ships vanish into FTL. "Track them if you can." Around Earth, the battle turned decisively. Without central command, the Concordat fleet fell into disarray. Some ships fought on. Others surrendered. Many fled. Admiral Miller's voice came through again. "Commander West, you magnificent bastard. The enemy is retreating." Cheers filled the Retribution's bridge. West allowed himself a small smile. But he couldn't forget Krell's words about the directors. "This isn't over," he told Miller. "We've won a battle, not the war." "Let's worry about that tomorrow," Miller replied. "Today we celebrate." As the fighting died down, Earth's ships formed an honor guard around the approaching Resistance fleet. For the first time in history, humans would formally meet allies from beyond their solar system. West looked at his tired crew, at the alien advisors who had helped save Earth, at the view screen showing his battered but undefeated homeworld. "Not bad for a primitive species," he said. The Retribution took its place at the head of Earth's fleet, leading the Resistance ships toward home. Behind them, the stars seemed a little less empty, a little less hostile. And somewhere out there, the directors were running. But West knew, with a bone-deep certainty, that they would be back. And next time, humanity would be ready for them too. 6 months after the Great Battle for Earth, Commander West stood on a platform in the newly built Galactic Embassy in Geneva. Beside him stood Admiral Miller, Captain Nara, and representatives from 23 worlds, former Concordat planets that had broken free when they saw Earth's example. "This day marks a new chapter," said the UN Secretary-General, "not just for Earth, but for all free worlds." The signing ceremony was simple. Each representative touched a finger to the document screen, confirming the creation of the Stellar Defense Alliance, a united front against the directors and any who served them. After the ceremony, West found himself on a balcony overlooking the Swiss mountains. The air was cool and clean. Hard to believe that not long ago, alien ships had filled these skies. Admiral Miller joined him. "Quite a few. Quite a change," West replied. Miller nodded. "The President wants you to command the new fleet." "The exploration fleet?" West asked, surprised. 30 ships, 12 Earth Dreadnoughts, 18 vessels from our allies, a mission to find the director's homeworld. West considered this. "Dangerous." "Necessary," Miller countered. "Unless we find them first, they'll rebuild their forces and return." Later that day, West walked through the expanded Bastion base. No longer hidden, it now served as Earth's primary shipyard. 5 new dreadnoughts were under construction, built with combined Earth and alien technology. Powell met him by the Retribution. The ship had been repaired and upgraded. Its hull now bore both Earth's emblem and the New Alliance symbol. "How do you like the modifications?" she asked proudly. "She's beautiful," West said. "Ready for deep space." "More than ready," Powell grinned. "The new drive system can take us twice as far as before, and the resistance engineers helped us improve the weapons. We're stronger now than any Concordat ship we faced." Jones and Martinez approached, along with Campbell. All wore new uniforms with Alliance patches. "The crew is ready, sir," Jones reported. "Just say the word." West looked at them. His team. His friends. "You all want to go. It could be a one-way trip." Martinez shrugged. "Someone has to find these director creatures. Might as well be us." "Besides," Campbell added, "we have the best allies now. The Prixians are teaching us their navigation techniques. The Volturi are sharing their sensor technology." West realized they had already decided. And truthfully, so had he. 2 weeks later, the exploration fleet gathered in Earth orbit. 30 ships of different designs, united under one cause. Thousands of crew members, human and alien alike. On the bridge of the Retribution, West took his seat. The familiar chair felt right. Around him, his core crew prepared for departure. Admiral Miller's voice came through the comm system. "Godspeed, Commander West. Find them. End this." "We will," West promised. He gave the order, and the fleet began to move, first in a line, then spreading out into a search formation as they cleared the moon's orbit. Krell, now Earth's permanent liaison with the resistance forces, stood by West's chair. "Our intelligence suggests the directors came from the galactic core, a place of old stars and ancient worlds." "Then that's where we'll look," West said. As the fleet prepared to jump to FTL, West thought about how much had changed. 6 months ago, Earth had stood alone, pretending to be helpless while hiding its strength. Now humanity traveled among the stars with allies and purpose. The Retribution led the fleet into the vast darkness. On Earth, people watched through telescopes and video feeds as the ships vanished one by one. In his office in Washington, the President of the United States read a final report about the directors. Fragments of information collected from former Concordat worlds painted a disturbing picture. The directors were ancient, patient. They had orchestrated the Concordat's rise over thousands of years, always staying hidden in the shadows. Now humanity had pulled them into the light. The hunt had begun. On the Retribution, West gave the final command and felt the ship leap forward faster than ever before. Around them, 29 other vessels did the same. The largest exploration fleet ever assembled. "Course laid in for the galactic core," Campbell reported. "Estimated travel time, 32 days. All ships reporting ready," Martinez added. West nodded, looking at the stars streaking past on the view screen. Somewhere out there, the directors were waiting, planning, perhaps afraid for the first time. "They thought we were helpless," West said quietly. "That was their first mistake." The Retribution pressed on into the unknown, not as a lone defender, but as the vanguard of a new alliance. Behind it flew the hopes of Earth and 24 other worlds. And before it lay the future, uncertain, dangerous. But for the first time in centuries, the galaxy had hope. All because one small blue planet had refused to surrender. The hunt for the directors had begun, and West knew, with quiet certainty, that this was not the end of the story. It was just the beginning.